Alrighty, guys, we are back with another podcast. Today, joining us is Omar Arrozco. He is one of the bunnies that we've met outside at Granger and Public Land. Rick introduced me to him. Something we have in common is we're both from El Paso. We got Mexican culture. You know, we like to cook things a little bit differently. So we got a special episode for you guys. You know, we're going to get a little deep dive into Omar, his life, talk about what kind of hunting we do, and then we got a little cooking special for you guys. So it's going to be very, very fun, very exciting. Of course, you know, the drill. Tell us about yourself.
Thanks, man. Omar, like you said, from El Paso originally. Been in Austin since 2011. The second time in Austin. The first time I moved here was 1999. But I only stayed for a couple months. So yeah, I've been here since 2011. I don't know. What else?
Talk us through, I guess, what got you into hunting. That's something I'm curious about. I know you talked a little bit about it.
Right. Yeah, man. It was, like I said before, I didn't even really know I was hunting, man. I was just fucking around with my cousins. You know, my godfathers and my uncles staying with them in Mexico. They would have to be working, so they'd give us a gun and be like, come back, you know, by dinner time, and we'd come back with whatever we shot.
Yeah.
And, a dove or a rabbit or squirrel or whatever the case may be. We'd cook it up, and it wasn't until later in life when I was talking to somebody about it, and they're like, man, you started hunting early. And I was like, I didn't realize I was hunting. I was just messing around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was about 8 or 10, you know, rolling around with a shotgun, bro, like shit you can't do now.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that kind of started it, and it just kind of progressed from there.
Okay. So you said dove, rabbit, squirrel.
Yeah.
Was that like far east El Paso?
Some of it was in Far East El Paso. Those specific times that I'm talking about was in Mexico, north central Mexico, Durango area. So high desert, high elevation, a lot of climb,
sure,
a lot of woods, but also, you know, stones throw away, straight desert, you know, cactus and what you typically think of a desert.
Sure.
So
I know, like Far East El Paso, like. You got some javelinas out there. I don't know if you ever did any of that.
Nah, I didn't. I didn't know about it, or else I would have.
Yeah.
But I definitely have been wanting to go back and hunt some javelina.
Sure.
It's open season.
Yeah.
You can hunt them anytime you want.
Yeah.
It's a 2-bag limit, so you won't get a lot of meat, but they're mean little critters, bro. I, you know, do hog hunting and stuff, and they're even meaner than hogs, bro. These things will tear you up.
So walk us through, like your hog hunting. When did you start that?
Man, I can't remember the first time I went hog hunting, but I've done it a couple different places. Hawaii, Florida, Texas, obviously. Pretty much all the states that have an eradication program.
Yeah.
Solely for the purpose that they want them gone, and you wouldn't necessarily have to buy a hunting license, get all in depth into it, you know, buy tags and that kind of thing. So that's the reason I started hog hunting. Started bow hunting because ammo was so expensive.
Hell yeah.
You can reshoot arrows, and I can do it in my backyard.
Yeah.
So that's why I started bow hunting. But yeah, I'll hunt with anything, man. Like we were talking about earlier. Yeah. Shotgun, rifle, bow.
Yeah.
Mammals, birds. I don't care, man.
Yeah.
If you can cook it and eat it, bro, I'll hunt it.
For sure. Yeah. I want to get back into that beef that, you know, I guess some hunters have between, you know, you're a bow hunter, you're a rifle guy, you know, you shoot skeet and birds. I know, you know, there's really no beef there. Like, if you're, I don't know how to say it, like, there shouldn't be any beef.
Yeah, there shouldn't be. Some people make it a beef for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
Being a separatist, I don't know, being a level of elitism. I don't even know what you would attribute it to. But it's like I tell everybody, like, if anybody says like, "Oh, I only hunt with a bow and I'll only hunt elk," I'm like, "That's cool, man. If you want to limit yourself to just that."
Yeah.
But I'm trying to hunt anything, and I'm trying to hunt longer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I'm not going to limit myself to just bow season or just rifle season.
Exactly.
I'm hunting anytime I can.
Yeah. So going back, started with a shotgun, moved on to bow. Do you have any, rifle in particular that you've used and that you like? And
I like 700s, bro. I know they don't make them as much for whatever reason anymore. But that was always one of the most dependable rifles that I've ever had.
Sure.
Remingtons. But I do have other rifles. So, I'm not going to limit myself to just like one brand or even one ammo, one caliber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll use anything.
Yeah.
I'll use a rock and a stick if I need to.
I think back on the beef and like what kind of calibers we're using, I think it's any way you can ethically put down an animal and harvest the meat. Like, why? If you're a good bow shot, have at it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're a good rifle shot, have at it. But like respecting the animal,
Absolutely.
It's a violent thing to do. No way around it.
Yeah, no, for sure. They'll die in a lot more violent way than we harvest.
Yeah. Like, Rick and I were talking about it last time. The actual cows and
that's crazy.
goats and everything. They're put through the ringer.
Doesn't make it any better, right?
No,
it just makes the person that's eating it at
less liable.
Less liable and not feel as guilty, probably.
Yeah.
With us, I feel like, I think you said something about it. We have more connection with that animal.
For sure.
Because we've hunted it. Because literally there's been blood, sweat, and tears that go into harvesting that animal. And what we do, we share it with our friends and our family and our community. We have a bigger connection or a stronger connection with the animals that we hunt than most people have with their food. So, I think there's something kind of honorable about that.
There's kind of like a ritual. I'm not talking about eating hearts or drinking the blood or nothing, but there is like
hearts in my freezer.
It feels like a ritual.
Oh.
When you harvest an animal, you take the time to like just really touch it and feel it and respect it. And something I really admire about you is you take the time to eat as much of that animal that you can.
Absolutely.
Like right now, with the hog that we got in cooking right now, those are parts that typically people don't eat.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that I bring up all the time. Out here hunting hogs and stuff, you'll constantly see people leaving, ribs out there, spine, parts that they say they can't use. And usually what I'll tell people is like, it's not that you can't use it, you just don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
We're cooking a spine and some ribs that, like I said, usually people will leave out there, and it's just a matter of knowing how to use it, knowing how to prepare it.
Yeah.
A lot of it's super simple too. It's just, laziness, I guess.
Yeah. And we were talking about, our culture and like trimpas. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Trimpas. For those of you that don't know, trimpas, the
Intestines, yeah.
It's the intestines of cattle, beef, and, right?
Yeah.
And like, that's something.
Even sausage, bro, back in the day, they'd make the sausage with the lining.
Yeah.
Oh, with stomach lining, essentially. And yeah, people don't even, realize it, or
I think you made
care
a
to
good
find
point.
out.
You made a very good point. Like, I guess with our culture and stuff like tripas and sausage, it's at one point it was like a necessity.
It comes from necessity, bro, because the good parts would go off to the fancy rich people.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that was left over, the poor people had to figure out what to do with it, how to process it, how to eat it, because that's all they had.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's been done for hundreds of reasons for hundreds of years for a reason.
Sure. I know. So you're big on cooking.
big on eating. I just
big on eating. Fallen in love with cooking. I've fallen in love with it too through hunting. How do you feel? I feel like I attack my meals in a more traditional American style. How do you feel that your culture, our culture, has, I guess, changed the way you eat wild game?
I don't know if it's changed it. It just, I think, added an element to the processing of it.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really.
Would you say most of your dishes are, I guess, like, Mexican dishes?
No, not really. I think it just kind of depends on what I'm cooking, what's in front of me, and what really I'm in the mood for. Bro. A lot of times I'll make like Asian dishes. Or, just
so you made
across my mind.
You made that badass turkey. Was it bacon wrapped turkey?
Yeah. The stuffed turkey breast. Yeah. I consider that almost cheating, bro. Like, you can stuff anything in meat and wrap it with turkey. Wrap it with bacon, and that shit's gonna taste good.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's definitely good preparation for lots of reasons. The fat and the bacon's gonna keep whatever meat you have wrapped around. It's gonna keep it moist and gonna inject all the flavor, obviously, of the bacon and stuff. So
sure,
you can do that with anything, bro. Duck, dove, just anything.
Walk me through some of your favorite dishes.
Oh man, I'll have to make a list of those.
We're big boys, man. We got all kinds of favorite dishes.
I don't know. Damn, you gotta narrow it down. I think a little bit, like with a certain animal.
Favorite duck dish.
Duck dish. That duck gumbo that I brought you.
Yeah.
That was really good. I love Cajun food. There's a lot of in-depth flavors that go into cooking Cajun food. So that one was one of my favorite. Made some duck nachos, like an Asian style kind of duck nacho.
That's pretty cool.
That was really good. That was one of the things that just while I'm cooking it, I'm like, let me try this. And, let's do this kind of thing. We talked about it earlier, how some of my favorite dishes that I've come up with were really by accident. Just kind of what was available on hand, and just kind of flying by the seat of my pants, if you will.
Sure. What about turkey?
Turkey. I made those turkey enchiladas.
Okay.
That were really good. Anything smoked. I like making a lot of things that people will throw away, the bones and stuff.
Yeah.
Make bone broth.
Oh, dude, that was right now we're making.
Don't throw your bones away.
Yeah, no.
Bone broth.
We're making
bone broth. Throw it in your ramen. Man, I can. I can throw down some pretty good ramen.
Yeah,
and it's usually out of what people would throw away, bones. And
I think that's something too that, like, a real significant one that people leave out is making broth, making your stock, because God, it adds flavor to freaking everything.
Forget flavor, bro. It adds soul to your food.
No,
bro.
for sure.
A depth that you otherwise can't achieve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Man, it's a beautiful thing. And again, when you use every single part of the animal possible, I don't know, man, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Again, sharing it with your friends and family and neighbors and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I built some good relationships just from that, giving away meat, or we're having a barbecue and tell the neighbor, hey, come over and try this.
Yeah. I think it's also a great way. We talked about it, like, just to respect that animal.
Yeah, man. It's the least you can do.
Like, use all of it. Use as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
I know I haven't had too much of an opportunity, especially training this guy over here. Just trying to keep, like, some birds for him so he can play with and stuff. But yeah, typically I see a lot of guys just breast a dove.
Oh, bro.
Breast a duck.
I mean, a dove is smaller, so I can kind of see whatever. If you don't want to put the effort into it and you want to be lazy, that's cool. Yeah. Just say, I don't want to deal with it. That's cool.
Yeah.
I can take that a lot easier than, you can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. Yeah, you can. You just don't know how.
Yeah.
Or you're lazy.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you can't.
I think that's, again, something super admirable about you. I know.
I've been to restaurants where you'll see duck feet in their duck broth.
Yeah.
So you can eat that too.
Yeah.
You can eat anything. You can cook anything long enough and make it edible.
At the very least, it's a chow for the dogs,
At least. Rick said it was good at, they were good for calcium, right?
Yeah. Coot. Okay, you'll never catch me shooting a coot.
Yeah, I'll shoot one, yeah, but I've never eaten one. I've heard of people eating them, but
I just prefer not to. I've heard too many bad things about it.
Really?
But I think that's like a great point too, in a sense of hog and what we're cooking right now. A lot of people, probably just backstrap it, get the backstrap out.
Maybe the quarters.
Yeah, maybe. But you like to use everything, and I think that's
leaving the ribs, leaving the spine, when oftentimes those are some of the tastiest meats that you're going to get off an animal.
Sure. Yeah. Big deer hunter?
Not huge. Obviously, it's hard in Texas.
Yeah.
For those people that don't know, Texas is like, what is it, 95% privately owned? Something ridiculous like that. So it's it's very hard to find public land hunting opportunities. So, like I said before, unless you own the land or know somebody that owns the land or are going to pay to hunt the land, it's hard to hunt, big mammals and stuff.
Yeah.
But I have hunted deer. I've cooked it and eaten it before.
Favorite deer dish?
Deer dish? I don't know. Because of the depth of the flavor, I like using it in grinding it and using it for something like sausage, for example.
Sure.
Obviously you can eat a backstrap steak form and whatnot. But yeah, just grinding it up, using it for like hamburger helper.
Sure. Yeah.
That's like some redneck hamburger helper.
You ever had venison tamales?
No, but I could see that being good.
Yeah.
Like if you had fat, right?
Yeah.
You'd have to have some kind of fat so it doesn't dry out.
I've had them once. It's very close to beef.
Yeah.
Especially if you cook it right.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the same thing.
Yeah. I want to talk about that. I've had that conversation with Tristan. And gaming meat. Like, what is gaming? I don't.
Gaming.
The way Tristan sees it is like, gaming is just like, he thinks it's kind of fake. Like, deer tastes like deer. Dove tastes like dove. Hog tastes like hog.
Yeah, he's right about that.
What's gaming?
Gaming from, from a definition standpoint, like you said, means that the animal tastes like the animal, right?
Yeah.
I kind of make the analogy. It's like people that like tilapia. A lot of times people will say, I like tilapia because it doesn't taste like fish. Which is stupid. So I'm like, why are you eating fish then?
Yeah.
Don't eat chicken then if you don't like it.
Yeah.
I eat fish because I like the taste of fish.
Yeah.
If you want to call that gamey, then that's gamey, whatever.
Yeah.
But also, you can make any meat taste like anything else. Usually, if you have that flavor, it's because, one, you might not have cooked it or processed it correctly.
Yeah.
Or, it's just like a goat's always going to taste like a goat, right? Mm-hmm. But you can make a goat taste good.
Yeah. It's
still going to have the quote-unquote gamey flavor.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people aren't into that, and that's cool if you're not.
I think what people kind of interpret as gamey is tough, I feel like, maybe. Tough or gritty.
Yeah.
But again, like you said,
texture more than flavor.
Yeah. But it's really how you do it.
How you cook it.
Like duck, I've cooked duck terribly before.
Yeah.
And it tastes like
do that
shit.
with anything. Even chicken, bro.
Yeah.
Chicken. Exactly. I can probably make a boot taste good, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
It just depends on how you make it, how long you cook it, and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, any gaminess is either, in my opinion, a product of not processing the animal correctly or a person just being an asshole.
Yeah. Versus the hog, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's going to taste just like any other pork. Yeah, any other carnitas you've ever had. You know what I mean? There's going to be no difference. If you fed some of that stuff to some people that wouldn't know any better, then you can't taste the difference.
Yeah.
If you cook it right, again.
So. What has been, I guess, maybe your most troubling animal to cook? Like, it's really taken you a long time to figure out a great way to cook it. For me, for sure, it was duck.
Really?
Because they're just, like, so small. And it's fast or slow.
Yeah.
I feel like everything else, like, you can miss and still get it to taste pretty good.
Right. I don't know if I've had, like, a single specific animal that I've had trouble with. Yeah, it's just a matter of using
is that
the right technique.
It's that Mexican culture, bro.
I'm telling you.
Chicos tacos?
Oh, bro. Absolutely. Chico. So for those people that don't know, there's a famous place in El Paso that does drowned flautas. It's called Chico's. It's like the quintessential drunk food 2-3 a.m. in the morning after your party.
Yeah.
You go here and you sop up some flautas.
Get a double.
Yeah, bro. I was gonna say triple and a single, extra cheese, extra sauce. Yeah.
The hot dog on a hamburger bun.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, for sure. The funny thing is that when I lived in El Paso, you know, I was always like, ew, gross, Chico's. And then I moved away. I was like, damn, that place was the shit.
Yeah. There's a place here. I think the guys are from El Paso.
Burrito or what?
It's on like South First.
I want to say it's El Burrito. Yeah, a bunch of people that have done that are usually from El Paso.
Yeah.
And Chico's must have some like crazy lawyers, bro, because they like crack down on anybody that tries to do that.
I remember Chico's.
Screaming Goat? You ever go to that place? There was a place called Screaming Goat down on, I want to say like South Lamar or somewhere around that area. But yeah, as soon as they opened, like Chico's sent their lawyers and they shut it up. Dude, they're like HBO, bro. They keep a lockdown on that recipe or whatever. But yeah, Perrito is one of them that that I've heard about. Heard it's pretty good.
Yeah. My mom makes some solid Chicos.
Yeah.
She's perfected it over the years.
It's one of those things, bro. You can make 1,000 different ways, and everyone's got their own sauce. And I use a jalapeno and a half, but no, you're doing it wrong. I only use 2 jalapenos or whatever. Yeah, it's subjective, bro. It's whatever you want it to be.
I remember with Chico's, I don't know when exactly. I want to say like around 2011, 2012, they changed their cheese.
From the government cheese to like better cheese.
It's not.
It's not, bro. No.
Old cheese is the best cheese.
Bro, you get used to. We used to call it 25-cent cheese because an extra order of cheese was 25 cents.
Yeah.
So once you went from that government 25-cent cheese to whatever they use now, they fucked it up a little bit.
No, that cheese. I mean, I remember we'd be finished with our tacos. We'd be done eating.
Throw your cheese in the fries, bro.
No, you just go get the bag and just eat the cheese by itself.
No, that's you.
Cheese is great. God, dude, Chico's.
Damn.
I wish.
Bro, next time I make Chico's.
Oh, you told me you make Chico's.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Dude, again, it's subjective to how you want your sauce. It's super easy, bro. It's like 2 tomatoes, an onion, and like 2 or 3 jalapenos. Yeah, bro. Yeah, super easy.
Have you always, I want to go back to cooking. Have you always kind of been in the kitchen? Or is this something that just like came up recently?
No, it's been always, we talked about this earlier, but a lot of the most important relationships of my life revolved around the kitchen.
Yeah.
Growing up, being in my grandma's kitchen, every time she was cooking, I'd be there like, annoying little kid. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Why do you do that first? And why do you do this first? So yeah, she later on in life, some auntie would come up to me and be like, "Man, how do you know this recipe from from grandma? Like, she never told me this recipe." And I was like, I was there, dude. I was there asking. I was genuinely interested. So she would cook something. She'd be like, "Here, taste this." It's like, "What do you taste?" And I tell her, and she's like, "Okay, wait 5 minutes." 10 minutes later, she's like, "Taste it again. What do you taste?" Just kind of instilling that foundation, kind of. So yeah, between my grandma, my dad, my uncle Saul, he was a huge influence on my cooking. More people, obviously, but just mentioning the people that aren't here anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a big, huge influence on my cooking, and again, some of the most important relationships of my life revolved around the kitchen and cooking and stuff.
That's super special.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I tell people all the time when I cook for them and I'll make something like, "This is so good, dude." And I'm like, you're not just tasting the food, man. You're tasting like generational history. You're tasting ancestry. You're tasting, you know what I mean? My grandma and what her mom taught her and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful fucking thing, man. It really is. It can be.
It definitely runs deep. I mean, not discounting any other culture,
right?
But I think Mexican culture, like food, it runs so deep in our blood. The spice,
Well, there's certain smells that will literally transport me back to being a kid and being in my grandma's.
I was just talking about that salsa that you made. Like,
the green salsa.
I don't know where the hell I've tasted it, but it's like, I can guarantee you it wasn't in Austin.
Yeah.
It wasn't in.
Is your mom here?
The valley. No, she lives in the valley.
In the valley? I was going to say, take her some of that. Take her some of that salsa.
She's going up next weekend on Mother's Day? Or the following? I don't know. I think it's the following. She's coming up, but I'll make it for her. But yeah, like, just like one ingredient will take you back for sure.
Yeah, I think they say the smell is like the sense is like strongest connected to your memory.
Yeah.
Between like smell and taste. So yeah, there'll definitely be things that I'm cooking or I'm smelling, and it automatically transports me to that time, dude. Yeah. And sometimes my red chili sauce, perfect example. I'll taste it, I'm like, that's grandma right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Very, very, very moving. I think that's our culture. That's how we live. That's how, you got people coming over for parties,
cooking for lots of people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many cousins you have. I know I got at least,
probably can't count them,
50 at least.
50 that we know of.
Yeah, for sure. Like my mom is one of 6.
Mm-hmm.
My dad is, he's one of 6 or 5 that he grew up with, and then got his dad. Dude, his dad had like 30 something.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Shit. We're not. My last name is not off of him. It's off of my adopted grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember we went to go see my biological grandfather one time, and this guy, I never met him. And we go into his house, I meet some aunts that I didn't even know I had. One is like my age, and he opens a book. He's got like 30 kids on there and their phone numbers. It's all his kids.
That's wild.
Yeah. That's kind of our culture,
Right.
The macho Mexican man back
like
in the
rabbits,
50s. Yeah.
Like rabbits. Oh, there's that reaction, bro. Every time Rick said anything funny, you could be like, "Oh my god."
Well, okay.
So
no, Rick says unwarranted, unprovoked, just like
funny
unnecessary. It's funny, don't get me wrong. It's hilarious. The shit that Rick says is hilarious. It's like completely like, why'd you bring that up?
We're on camera. You can't say that shit.
Yeah.
No, another factor, bro, is just the whole Catholicism thing. Catholics, for I don't know, in their full idealism, don't believe in contraception.
Nope, I don't.
So that's why, back in the day you had 29 siblings.
Yeah. I mean, we're Mexicans are definitely not contributing to like low population numbers or nothing, but
for sure.
Well, cool. I think maybe we could put a pause in this.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go
check on the food. We're gonna go check on some food. We're gonna come back, edit, voiceover, all that stuff. But we're gonna see this food. We'll come back, let you know how it goes. Maybe we'll even have a plate right in front of us. And this episode is gonna be very special. It's very.
At this point, meat's been in for now 2.5 hours.
Okay,
11, right?
Yeah, we'll flip it.
Let's go check it. Yeah.
Very good. Like I think near dear to both of our hearts episode, and in a sense of cooking. Culture.
I'm glad you had this idea, man. Yeah. I would have done, sitting here and bullshit.
Yeah.
For nothing, but hell, get to cook and eat too.
Shout out Rick. Rick.
Good job, Rick.
Yeah, for once, good job. All right, we'll catch you guys in a bit. All right, guys, we are back. This is the finished product. We got our wild hog birria. We got salsa, tomatillos, jalapenos, and crema. Tomatillas, jalapenos. We got queso fresco from
Oaxaca, baby.
Oaxaca.
Yeah, don't know about that shit.
Spanish rice. We got the fixins over here: lime, cilantro, onions.
Put a picture of it. I already broke something. I'm not trying to break something else.
Let's see if y'all can take a gander at that right there.
Break it, it's all good.
Yeah, and then we got corn tortillas. We're gonna, of course you gotta have your beer. We're gonna dig right in. While we're eating, I'm gonna have Omar kind of explain the process of what we did, and then we'll we'll voice over the video so that way.
Oh, word. Okay.
You know what I mean? So while we're eating, enjoying this, you can be like, okay, this is what we did, and then just
basically it's pretty easy. You boil your hog in basic broth, bay leaf, salt, pepper, garlic. What really gives it the flavor is the red chili. Red chili is kind of where the soul of the dish is at.
Sure.
As you saw, we toasted them a little bit first. Now this is one of those things that there's 1,000 different ways to make chili. Your salsa base or whatever. There's no wrong way. There's no right way. It's just preference kind of thing. In this specific case, we toasted them first in the oven, right? What would you say, 20 minutes?
Yeah, like 10 minutes and then flip, or
10 minutes,
15.
Yeah, just to make sure they're cooking evenly. Rearrange them, kind of thing. Added some little bit of oil to have them fry up a little bit. After they're toasted, then you pretty much put them in your blender with again your choice of spices and herbs. In this case, went pretty basic. Just what was it? 5 different kinds of chili, something like that.
Chili,
onion, garlic, oregano, salt, pepper. Pretty much it. So all the flavor comes from toasting the chilies and the types of chilies you use. Again, you could use any kind of chili that you want. What did I use? Pasilla, Guajillo, Puya, Arbol, and Chipotle. So it was 5. Is that 5?
Yeah.
Whatever. That's what I like for this recipe. Pretty much it. Once you do your salsa and this thing's been boiling for a while, you combine the ingredients, let it simmer. Obviously, depends on how much meat you have. It's going to determine the amount of time that it's boiling. Easy. There's no set time. Easiest way to check is when the bone is falling off. You saw it, right? When you're pulling the bones out, it's like ready.
Butter.
Yeah, if it's coming out that easy, that means it's ready.
Yeah.
Pretty simple process. Maybe a little labor intensive in terms of the steps and the layering, but you saw, man, it's not difficult at all, right?
No, I mean, like Omar's saying, it's salsa, there's a million different ways to do it. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Whether it's green salsa, red salsa, birria itself, it's like, you're just boiling your meat until it's tender. It's not hard to mess up. One thing that I do want to remark and is very interesting is that this was a spine and ribs.
Oh yeah. That was the biggest thing that I kind of wanted to prove and use these parts because, like we said earlier, there's times I've been out there hunting and people will leave spine and ribs and they'll leave it out there and say you can't do anything. That's fine if you don't know how and you want to be lazy. I have more inclined to accept that as an excuse, and you can't do it because you absolutely can. You just don't know how. It takes a little effort. It takes a little love. You got the first taste, bro. How is it?
Oh my god, I was enjoying the case of first one.
Then you got your jalapenos and pickled. Second time today. God damn it.
But this is like a great example of people not knowing how to use. I mean, I'll be honest. Previous to this, I probably wouldn't have used the hog spine either.
Most people don't, but it's not. Again, in most cases, it's because you don't know how.
Yeah.
So, again, even if you guys don't want to use it, you could always find someone that will. Again, that broth, bro. Bone broth is like life, bro. It's like the basis of life.
Oh my god, this is delicious.
Glad you enjoyed it, bro. Haven't tried it yet, so I'll let you know what I think.
It's been total. I mean, prep time was literally 5 minutes.
Yeah, prep time.
Just getting everything sorted out, not even like cutting anything really. Total cook time for the hog. We started at 11:30. It's about 3. So was that 3 hours, 3.5 hours?
Something like that.
Yeah. I say 3 hours because we've been pulling it off the bone for the last 20, 30 minutes. But 3 hours, I mean, this is a meal that
I'm literally feed 6.
Yeah, I'm going to be full off of these two. Rice doesn't take long.
Right. Rice is 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, whatever, how long rice takes.
Oh my god. Again, guys, like, this is just,
how pretty that is.
Look, let me show this.
Yeah. Throw some sauce on it first.
Oh, yeah. You want
do 1 and 1.
Okay.
So this one's got cream in it. That one doesn't.
What was that crema again that you got in there?
Oh, chona.
Chona,
bro. Yeah, that's some good ass.
Y'all don't know the chona.
Yeah, look her up. Chona.
Check that out, guys. Like, it does not. Here, come on. Look at this. Look at that. That is freaking phenomenal.
That's love, bro.
Yeah. That's what we were talking about the whole time, generational food. It's just like, it doesn't have to be complicated.
No, absolutely not. That salsa literally takes, what do we count? 5 ingredients?
5 ingredients, maybe 3 minutes total.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we boiled the jalapenos and the tomatillo, toasted the chilies, but like it was. Aside from that, you're making a salsa in 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
All right, I'll tell you what we need to do. Throw some of that red sauce back in here, so that gets a little bit more flavor.
That'd be good.
But other than that, pretty good stuff, bro.
And one thing we were talking about right now, and I think it's so funny, is I don't think I've ever seen my mom, my grandma, me, my dad. I've never seen anybody use a measuring cup unless you're making like a cake or something.
That's why baking sucks.
Yeah, because you gotta be so precise. But this is all, and I mean, this extends, not just in our culture. I'm sure other cultures do, but like I've never seen a Mexican, Latin woman chef use measuring cups or anything. It's just
no. Even when I'd ask my grandma, when I'd ask her about recipes, Like, how much salt do you use? Like, 3 of those. Like, what the hell does that mean? That's your hand. My hand's bigger than yours.
How much water do you put in rice?
Right here, bro. This line right here, that'll let you know. That'll let you know. That's my, that's the only measuring I do. When you're making rice, you put your, see, this is the top of the rice. Put your finger there. Water's got to come up to there. That's all you need to, as far as measuring.
It's, this, like, does not have to be complicated. You can taste it. What do you need to add? What do you if it's too thick, add some water. If it's not, you need salt, you need
That's
spices.
one of the most important things. Well, as you're doing everything, tasting, constantly.
Yeah.
I was telling Seth, when I'm cooking for people, family, friends, whatever, by the end of it, people are sitting down, they're eating, they're like, "You're not going to eat? You're not hungry?" I'm like, "I've been eating this whole time. I tasted all of this before you guys before it went on your plate." So most of the time I'm not even hungry by the time it's time to eat, but yeah, constantly tasting.
God, man, I really want to thank you for coming on, coming over, showing me how it's done, how to, not be so waste. You know what? I even want to touch on that too. Even when it comes to your trash, you're not wasting.
I try not to, bro.
Like you do compost. You have your own garden.
The cilantro and some of the jalapenos came from the garden.
Dude,
Wish I could have done more, but
it's a classic. Like I'm not gonna say I'm resourceful by any means, but you are probably one of the most resourceful hunter cookers that I've ever met.
Appreciate it, bro. I wish I could do more, but do what I can with what I got. You know what I mean?
For being a spine and a rib, God,
bro. Yeah, don't ever let anyone tell you can't do shit with that fucking piece of meat.
Yeah.
You can, not me.
Yeah. That's awesome. But yeah, dude, thanks for...
yeah, man. Thank you for having me. Like I said, if nothing else, you shoot the shit, have some beers,
For
cook
sure.
some food.
My God. Sorry, guys. I don't want you guys to hear us eating this whole time.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to talk anymore. I just want to eat. This is freaking delicious. But thank you guys for tuning in. It's been fun. Thank you, Omar, for coming on. You'll see a lot more of him, especially throughout hunting season. He's one of our main guys.
I'm gonna do the cooking sessions or what?
Yeah, you're gonna be the certified far outdoor chef. Thank you guys again. We'll see you next time. Feel free to drop a comment on what you guys would like to see. I know most of this has kind of been winged. We've been talking about different topics here and there. Drop a comment, or we'll leave some polls on Spotify and stuff that you guys can feel free to enter in what you'd like to hear. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see who's on next. See you guys.